Hey, what is going on? I'm Jevgeni Laur and I've been working in game development industry for over a decade. I've been working on projects like Rage 2, Division 2, Generation Zero, Crusader Kings 3 and many more. And you know what? I wanna share my experience. Because of that, I decided to do a consulting sessions. On those, I would provide feedback on your 3D models, any stage, from high poly till final presentation. I do though focus on characters. I will give rendering and presentation tips for your portfolio to make it look better and stronger. I will give advice on where to start, what type of studio to get a job in the beginning. I can talk about the process of hiring in large and small studios, cause there could be a difference. I can talk about frequently asked questions on the interview, because there could be a lot of those. I can help to prepare for an interview, help to prepare your resume, and arrange your LinkedIn account so it could be more attractive for recruitment. If you're interested, feel free to message me on Discord, from there we will arrange a call. Consultations could be on English and on Russian. From time to time, I will make a free feedback portfolio sessions. Join my Discord channel and put your portfolio link in the portfolio feedback channel. There will be announcement about the upcoming stream that you can join, where you can see my feedback. Also, stream will be recorded and uploaded to my YouTube channel, so you can rewatch it if you missed. Right now, the free feedback session will start, so enjoy. Alright, so we will start this madness feedback session with George. So he has a really nice combination of characters here. We can see there's a stylized guy, there is a creature, there's a robot. There is also, we see another stylized guy that looks a bit Overwatch-ish or something like that. So we will start with the first one, which is cyberpunk stylized character. Yeah, that's nice. Right, so the first thing I would like to mention is how complex this is. You can clearly see there is faults, there is a fabric, there is hard surface going on. There is some difference between materials. There is again, there is fabric, there is transparent some kind of clothing. Why not? Since it's cyberpunkish, of course it could be there. They have he has a lot of it's like a walking arsenal, like Dr. Octopus or Octavius, I guess, from Spider-Man. And it also looks like bubble tea, which is very nice. I like bubble tea. Pineapple, yeah. Alright, so first thing I see that would be improved, maybe, is that the colors, overall, they kind of look a bit flat. So what I could suggest here, for example, I will have this Photoshop open up, and the first thing, usually what I do when it comes to my art, is I always try to exaggerate colors by making them more like candy, basically. And I think I talked about this before on the first feedback session, and I think I will do it every feedback session, basically. So what I'm trying to say is that I go and I press Ctrl-L, which is key for the levels, and I make sure my dark areas are more dark and my light, or I guess bright areas are a bit bright. So not too much. We do need to understand that if we have... that's why I have a cup of tea. We need to avoid super dark colors. And here it could be fine, it's a shadow, whatever, we can have it here. But if it would be here, for example, on the glove, it would be kind of too much. So we would need to try to avoid the super bright area colors. So it shouldn't hit white like this. Could be here, in this area. And when it comes to dark, it's also kind of here. So this is too much, or else it just look less realistic. Yes, so if we go back, let's actually do Ctrl J to duplicate. we make it a bit more contrast, we'll see that it will start to pop up more and look kind of more interesting. So let's go back. You see now it looks kind of more juicy, as I would say. It's really, really cool. Another thing is that maybe let's actually go and go back and see the full presentation of it. So we have another one with gray background, we have a turnaround, high poly, alright, low poly, another one just to check the full model. Nice. We have a background. I wonder if I guess it was a package asset, right? Have a anatomy one, we have another one, and this is alright. So we have a few renders, and this is the, I guess this is the concept. So if I would go back here, one thing I noticed that we have folds here, you see, and they create kind of more shadows, which kind of makes this fabric pants look more like inflated, you know, and here stuff especially. Here we kind of lack of that. So ideally, if you want to be close to the concept, let me try to draw something. We would need to make those folds pop up more to create this silhouette. Because right now it looks kind of like almost flat, almost like a straight line. And here it's kind of the same situation. It should pop up a bit more. Maybe I need to do choose another color, you know, like something like that. So now it kind of creates more tension and kind of gives feeling of a pressure much more. But I mean, still very nice. What else do we have? So I like how this looks kind of low poly, and I guess we have the same here. I would rather make this maybe less low poly like this, so there is not that much point. I think we can always like add something from ourselves when it comes to like when you sculpt by using a concept. But I guess Josh was more like strict, which is also very nice that he saw that, which is very important to see little details. Alright, so we have this one having emission, this is also having emission. Alright, so maybe it's kind of emits emissions maybe too much, because if we look here, let's actually take a screenshot and put it here. Maybe, yeah, we have a detail here, like extrusion, that we still can see. And here it's pretty small. So maybe Josh was like, maybe I will do it my own way, which is also fine. But if you wanna kind of try to stick close to this, because this area here, it's actually pretty nice. It's sticking out. It just creates more depth, which is little thing, but like this kind of looks pretty cool, especially if it's actually the face, like close to the face, which is usually, if you look at the character, first thing you will notice actually the face. But yeah, but still pretty nice, pretty nice. Another thing that I usually notice that we have sometimes, if we put too much lights, what we will get is those random shadows here. See, like this line. So what I would do here is, as soon as I finish my rendering and I'm gonna go to Photoshop to do some adjustments, I will just smudge this a bit. Actually, one layer. I will just smudge this like that, so it's not gonna be visible, because that line is kind of like breaking the immersion into your model, I would say. But that's basically it. But pretty good work, pretty complicated character, I would say. which is really nice that you are just trying to challenge yourself. Let's go to another one. I think I saw this guy before. Yeah, it's because it's the best design stylized. That's actually first prize. Congratulations, that's actually pretty nice. I think I never won anything. But at the same time I never participate that much. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. He has animation. The character style looks like it was like a hand painted with cell shading, which is a really, really interesting combination. And this is I like how the straps are actually like the tubes. So I guess it's the liquid that is actually going inside, which is very well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then here actually you see like here you have enough of contrast. So if we go back to Photoshop here, before like it was kind of more pale, but in this situation it's actually bright enough, so that's pretty nice. Pretty nice. But one thing, you know, I see that we have like rim lights on the side, which is really nice. But you see that there is also some lights somehow inside of his sleeve and here on like under the arm. So the bandages, I guess. I wonder why. Because ideally, like usually if we take, like I have my portfolio opened here, usually what I try to achieve is I try to highlight my design, but on only like the edges, like on the sides, basically. I know it's kind of hard to explain using words. It's easy to just actually go to Unreal and put some lights to explain, but here you see like I have kind of strict highlight on the left side, on the right side, and if you're gonna go actually more down, you see the same thing here. So I don't have anything that highlights like these areas. And let me actually maybe take a screenshot and explain it in a more understandable manner. So usually it's like this, and what I'm trying to avoid is do not put any lights that will highlight, for example, like those straps here. Imagine if they would be like, actually let's just take white brush. Imagine if they would be like highlighted like that, like this would be highlighted. This thing will be highlighted, you know, it's like it's kind of ruins the realism, I would say. So I would try to avoid this, and you see if you go back here, you actually have that, which is like, it could be, I would say it could be, but it looks less realistic, I would say. But still like very nice character. And you have like poses, which is also the best to have, because the character always needs a character, which is a pose or an emotion. Ideally a pose with emotion. That would be very nice. Yeah, really. But other than that, I don't think I have that much to feedback. We have all this. Pretty cool. And we have another one here. So we have some animation. It goes up on the cubes. And we have this guy. High poly version of that. Looks like some kind of like a Fortnite-ish Mass Effect in a way. I like how it's kind of simple, but at the same time it has some shapes like gathered here. All right. Some clothing. I feel like there is like different styles. Like you have sci-fi, then you have a basic jacket. Then it goes to sci-fi again, and then there's like this the full-blown crew. Check it out, like Power Rangers. Alright, so what should I feed back here? Well, we do have this jacket that with my eyeballs, like I can see that you were sculpting this by hand, which is, I guess it could work more if you would aim for Fortnite effect, which is more like super stylized, or Overwatch, for example. I don't think they will simulate. But if you were kind of aiming for like more realistic, which as I see here, because you can clearly see like a lot of faults here and there, but I would always recommend to use Marvelous because it's just easy. Yeah, well, I mean, not super easy, but it takes time to understand, but in future it will be very helpful. So you would be able to get a really professional look without even that much knowing what is going on. It's like overall, of course you do need to understand how to do garments and like what faults should be where, but like you don't need to actually go and ideally know exactly how this fault should be here, or maybe this fault should be there. And so when it comes to this jacket, let me take a screenshot. Let's go to the best software ever, and we have it here. So let's do Ctrl-J, and then here what the first thing I would try to do is I would try to make this less symmetrical. So you see, if we're gonna take a ruler, for example, and we put a line here, you see it's kind of symmetrical enough. So what I would try to avoid is actually not making it too kind of looking the same. You can make actually let's do the liquify options. I think it's gonna be easier instead of painting. So let's just maybe make it a bit down here, like even like, and maybe a bit up. You know, so it's just very little touch, but you can see that it kind of feels more natural. And one of the examples that I can give is, I think it was this guy, that this jacket is kind of looks like the one that you have. And if you see here, mine is like, even though it's kind of symmetrical, like in a way, you know, the design itself is kind of symmetrical, but I try to avoid making the same shapes and maybe making it like too predictable, I would say. So here you see that it actually goes a bit up, then down, then a bit up, then goes kind of forward and a bit up, very slightly, and the same goes like on the back side. So when it comes to folds, so ideally so you kind of have it here kind of close what it should be, but let's take black brush, let's have this. So here, sorry, my tablet is kind of too far away, so I'm trying to like lean forward too much, which is really unnatural. I will maybe try to put it closer. All right, so ideally you will have a, let's just think, if it goes here, goes like that, goes like that, goes like that. Because I always forget, like if it goes here, then it goes there, then it goes kind of like this. Like, I'm over exaggerating a bit, but I guess you would understand what I mean. And it's the same. It's the same view. And here, if I'm gonna go the back area, so you see they somehow go like in your version up, which is not really, like, I would say anatomically when it comes to fabric's correct. So it's the same kind of thing here. So they go like this, and then here like that, and then after that it just depends. They could go like this. It depends on like the fabric and how loose it is. All right, so let's go back. Where is my, so this, I have two browsers open up, so I'm kind of getting lost. Yeah, so if I'm gonna go back to my guy here, you see that I have some folds that are actually going up, like here. Like this is like, yeah, here and there. Maybe it's not like the perfect example, but let's go maybe to this guy. And yeah, this is better. So here you see they actually go up. There's like a specific direction, ideally, you know. And the same goes on the back. So that is that. Let's go back here. And yeah, I like this guy because I wonder if this animation actually is it an animation actually? If it actually go like up and down, would be nice. Like you see like this hollow kind of like emissive soft light. One thing that I see here is you have those details. Let's go here. And they are 100% traced, you see, and I think I will, as always with the lights and contrast, I've always mentioned this thing that I always try to avoid, like this tracing, like of this wear and tear substance. Ideally, just try to, like, if it's a design choice, then maybe it should be highlighted like without that much grunge, you know. So it could be like a design, like just a stripes, you know. But if it's actual like grunge and well, like tear from the metal, then it looks less realistic when it just follows exactly the shape, you know. So ideally, you would decrease this in some areas, so it will look like it's more, well, I guess, real, basically. Alright, but pretty nice work, pretty nice characters I see, like, and also like a lot of work was done, I guess. I wonder if they actually can swap each other. Like, I guess they actually are supposed to, which is pretty cool, pretty cool. And I guess we'll take another one. It's a robot now. Alright, so it's I like how George presenting his characters. I think he does it even better than me, because like he has like a not only animation and the background, his background is also has an animation. So that's some hard work, and I appreciate that. And so we have like I like how like I like the big shape, like big shoulder shapes and characters. Pretty cool. Alright. It could be that, I wonder if there is a concept or something. Concept by, let's check. I wonder if it's that. I wonder if the textures are kind of like that simple, you know. It feels like it could be something else, like some kind of design, maybe some like ornaments or something like that. Or like it could be that it also looks kind of too unified when it comes to colors. Like you see, like it's kind of the same color everywhere. Well, at least very close to be. You know, like this part here, maybe this could be a bit darker or brighter. Those areas here, maybe they could have a, maybe they're too blocky, but at the same time it could be a concept, so it really depends, of course. But I like how like it's actually pretty, it's also pretty complicated. You have some ropes here, like I guess like is it like a Chinese or Japanese design? Because I think I was doing something like that, not that far away. And this like that's a nice animation of freaking lightning. That's cool. I wonder if you would be able to put that somewhere else, maybe like across his area here. Maybe those things could be a bit bigger, you know, because maybe it's just me because I like emissive, you know, so I like to put it everywhere. But yeah, man, I like how you can actually handle hard surface and then like cartoonish characters and then something in the middle. Pretty nice. lights, and then this is UVs, I guess. So you have 2K. You have 4 sets, and every each is 2K. I wonder if, like, I can critique about this if this would be a game dev, because I'm not sure it's game character. Well, let's just pretend if it's a game dev character, you know. Then I see that it could be optimized a bit more, because you see like there is a lot of the same kind of shapes going on that you could overlap, and I don't think you need like 2K on each one. I bet it could be 1K, honestly. I can give you an example of how I usually optimize things on projects. So I have this picture here. So I have this vest, like a vest, and the shirt like a chest piece overall. And I have this ammo, and it has a lot of like ammo, like those details, you know, like they're popping out, sharp details. And I felt like if I could actually unwrap them and make all of them unique, but then on UV space I will have a lot of those little triangles, and they will be small, and if they're small, the texture will be also very blurry. So in my mind I was like, what if I stack them together? So we see here we have a vest with bullets, and I have one bullet here. So I unwrapped that and then stacked it everywhere, and that's how it looks like. So it's the same bullet, and it's just copying itself, and I think this is the bullet here, if I remember correctly. So it's yeah, and that's my video. And then that was damn, I'm lost in my PC. Sorry, I'm back. So this is this. Yeah, luckily we're still online. So when it comes to pouches here, you see I have 3 of those, and I guess what I would like to do also is I will open the version of that. So let's go here. So I'm gonna take a picture of that. Actually, maybe not. Maybe it's gonna be like that. So let's just make it like that. So we have 3 pouches here, and I felt like, what if I want to optimize that? And I was like, how do I do that? So since I have 3 of those, I was like, maybe I should put and bake only 2, and then use 1 on the left, and then repeat it also on the right, but on the middle it will be a unique one. So instead of having 3 pouches on my UV, which is like somewhere here, I guess, I have 2. And you see like they are kind of the same. You see like this dirt spots here and here, they are the same, but this is different. But you don't see that much repetition because you have something in the middle which is different, which is like unique in this situation. It's the when it comes to this strap. So you see I have like this blue strap which is popping out. It's the same strap. I overlapped it 3 times basically. But then what I did is actually I changed the direction and the shape a bit on each pouch. So instead of using like 3 rectangular pieces on UV, I used only 1. When it comes to pouches here, you see like I did the same thing as here. So I have this like upper part which is overlapped with this one, and then in the middle it's unique. And you see like here we have yellow and orange, and here we have yellow and 2 oranges. Or 2 oranges, not fruits. The down part will be like the same kind of way. So we have blue one on the right, blue one on the left, and pink one in the center. And that's how it doesn't look that symmetrical. And the killer will be I have some bolts here, as you can see on the shoulder piece, and I just used one of those and I overlap those. So it's only like, it's basically on UV, it's only one rectangular. And I copied that like a few times, and that's why it looks like this. And it doesn't kind of give you that much of repetitiveness. I don't think it actually has any dirt, so that's why you don't see that it's the same. Well, it's the same when it comes to clean effect, because it's actually clean, but this is the example of how it could be when it comes to optimization and overlap and stacking things to each other. So this is like 1K when it comes to shirt, which is gray, and then when it comes to like yellow parts, which are those, they are just 512 texture. All right, so here we go, George. So you're insane, you're pretty good, you have a lot of variety going on, a lot of animation. I do see you put more effort than even me when it comes to presenting characters, so that's ridiculous. I will need to take some tips from you, actually. Alright, so now I'm gonna go to Lina. Hello. And I see that she is an art student, which is kind of ridiculous when it comes to like her level art, because you can clearly see that it's actually pretty nice. Right, so what should we start with? So we have this one. So I do notice that she likes more kind of fabric clothing, which is pretty cool. Because not that many people actually likes Marvelous. Because I kind of like it, but I kind of like everything like in the same kind of balanced way, you know. I like modeling and ZBrushing, but I don't think I like something like this. This is the best for me. But yeah, but let's talk about me, and let's more talk about people. So she has some really cool garments here, some knowledge, and she posts that also, which is also pretty cool. I don't think I ever post anything actually. I only post like only after, when I did everything. I have some textures here, the base mesh, we have some low poly anatomy going on. That's pretty nice. We have some cool face. It looks like Avatar actually. Blue face. I like this effect when it's like a diffuse map on a low poly. Pretty cool. Kinda gives vibes from like freaking 2004 kind of. Let's have some haircut. And again, like, oh, and I remember she was actually posting this on my Discord channel. Actually, feel free to join my Discord channel. Link will be somewhere. You will find it for sure. And so that's actually pretty hardcore. Like the way she can produce this kind of garments in Marvelous is actually ridiculous. But you can actually clearly see that this person really likes sewing, I would say, and enjoys it. Pretty nice, pretty cool. Wow, and we have also rendered in Unreal Engine. That's insane. Unreal for life, you know. Alright, so thinking of so the hair, I think is it like in some kind of like 3D software like Maya or something, like a viewport. We don't see that much of kind of colors because it's just kind of like flat colors. Ideally, you could spend a bit more polygons here, but I guess if the final version was like supposed to look like this, you don't see that much, so maybe there is no point. But maybe for the future, don't hold yourself when it comes to like haircuts, because you can, as always, I'm gonna give an example of how it could be in like real circumstances. Where is the haircut? So I have something like that actually here, and this is the topology, and it's like, it's kind of in the middle. It's not like it's super low, but at the same time it's not super high. It could be even higher, but yeah. So let's go back to, but you have, for sure you have the basic flow. One thing that I could add is just you can add a bit more, you know, maybe like some flyaways. But as I said, maybe it wasn't the initial idea of like focusing on the hair that much. And so we have some here. I do like the fabric here, actually. The feeling is actually kinda good, honestly. Kinda good. You could maybe oversaturated some color, so let's actually do a test. Let's do a test. If I'm correct, maybe this is too white. Let's take a peek. Well, kinda close, like on the edge, but it's, yeah, it's not bad. Ideally, what maybe I would try to recommend is don't highlight so much. You know, you could maybe stop until like this. So this could be highlighted, maybe this in. And then I just decided to take a black color and draw on a black background. So maybe like until this. Because when you put it so much, it could like be just too much. I would say like too much of light, which is like if it would be more subtle, then it could work better. But don't just try to like don't oversaturate it and don't add too much light, basically. Yeah. So this area here is actually like this color. It could be that it's kind of too straight. You could, let's actually go here to liquefy, my favorite tool to use. It could be that it could be just a little bit shaped like this, for example. You see, like just a little bit, but it kind of gives it more natural feeling. But other than that, it's pretty nice. Like maybe this is highlighted. Should it be highlighted? I wonder, because it looks like kind of gives like this, you know, like a cyberpunkish kind of emissive, but it just highlights. I guess it's just the light is coming from there, so that's why it's. Well, ideally, maybe this part shouldn't be highlighted so much. Let's see, and you see, or maybe it's actually artistic choice, you know, because if we have this one highlighted like that. This is here. I guess the light is somewhere behind the back, which is kind of artistically an interesting choice to make. Why not? You know, why not? Why not actually? But maybe then this should be less highlighted. You know, it could stop here and not kind of extend so much. Because here it's actually pretty nice. This shadow here kind of bugs me a bit because you see like it's super sharp. So what I would do is I would try to make it maybe softer, so it will not gonna kind of drag attention that much. And you see the same thing here. We have some shadows here going on, like you know, it's kind of hard to balance, but if you do it too much, it could look like it's like an artifact, you know. Because here it's, what if we will try to maybe make this area, I wonder if I would be able to do that very quickly. What if I will try to make this area like just the same as it's, maybe I can just use stamp, because I wonder, do we even need that? No. Well, of course I'm failing as always. So kind of like that, you know, this this feels kind of more natural because we have a bit light here. There's like, see this ring light, and it's not like create this kind of shape of light, like why there is this shadow. What if we will try to also, like, I will just take this piece and put it here, maybe like, let's do warp it up. Well, kind of like, I know it's pretty brutal, but I think this looks more kind of subtle and less like, you see, because this kind of drags my attention too much, but I don't think it should, because I think we should focus here. But if you look on the shadows here and there, they're kind of like I don't know, like too much attention of those shadows. But pretty nice. Neither than that, actually pretty nice. I like how you're experimenting with the light. That's also pretty interesting to have and to do basically. Alright, so we have another one, which is this really interesting stylized creature. Here is, when it comes to light, I would also try to maybe make it a bit less pale. So let's go to my favorite, Ctrl L, which is levels, and maybe make it, or maybe you see, like maybe this is too bright, you know. I wonder if I would be able to, because I failed with levels. I wonder if we need to make it dodge, or maybe not. Actually, it's burn. I wonder if I could make it a bit more darker. Yeah, so it's kind of like it when you have it like so bright, and your details can be like washed away, so you don't see that much. So let's actually, I'll do it again. So we'll take this guy, Ctrl J, I'm gonna put it here, and now I'm gonna do this thing again, and you see like those wrinkles there, they are actually popping out a bit more, and it kind of gives more details. Yeah, from this distance I guess you can see it more, but pretty cool. The other thing is that let's go. That's a cute one. Oh, and that's actually, yeah, right. Nice eyes. I guess it's just made for animation, so that's why they're so straight. Alright, so we have, actually we have a lot of stuff. There's actually the full story. And then we have this guy again, being alone. Here is a goblin again, well, yeah, I can clearly see. That's, I mean, some jokes, you know, that's also pretty nice, you know, but don't take it too far. Because I saw some people actually just put a lot of jokes, like, and then they make like jokes render, like, and it feels like it's not comedy, it should be your portfolio. But this one is actually pretty funny. Oh well, that's cool. So I see that there is a difference, you know, there's like, I feel like there is a difference in like style when it comes to details. So this guy is pretty polished, which, I mean, at least compared to those guys. So when it comes to this guy, he has I guess like a belly that is popping out, and at the same time you can actually see abs. What if, I guess I have a screenshot already here. What if I will try to smooth some of those muscles, and we will compare if it's gonna be better or not. Oh, will it work? Ah, yeah, sure. Let's move that belly. Alright. Maybe there could be less on the legs. There could be a bit when it comes to silhouette, you know, but maybe like, not when it comes to the actual like muscles, you know. So if we will compare now, maybe a bit more belly wiggle. And now we're gonna take this guy. And now we're gonna put it here. And I think now they kind of fit each other more, because there is like no little details. Or you could add those muscles on the legs, for example, because you see like it has so much muscles here and it doesn't have anything here. And this guy actually has a lot of muscles again, so wonder why. Maybe they're like two factions, for example, so they're supposed to be different. Who knows? But still, pretty nice, pretty nice. The lighting here, like here you see, it could be that it's, I like how it's touching this area, so it highlights, which is pretty nice, pretty nice. Like here it's, I think it's more, like in my opinion, more kind of better, because here it's just maybe taking too much. Ideally it could stop actually maybe here, and or you can decrease the light so it doesn't kind of goes almost to white, as I've been telling before. Here I think it's, I guess you have a light from the top, you have a light from the left side, and I guess if it hits here, I guess it's also from the top, so it's actually pretty big light. Alright, maybe this area should be highlighted a bit less, because you see, like, it's also close to white, you know, this area is kind of not that far away. So yeah, a bit work with the light, and believe me, your characters will be looking even better, let's say. Can I give any examples? Because I think, you know, sometimes less lights can make your character look more realistic, and more lights, like for example I have this guy here, and I have a few lights on, I guess on this, like, let's just examine my work. I guess I have a few lights here on the left side, one here, so you see it's also kind of creates this kind of rim effect, but it's very subtle, you know, it's just a little bit, so it doesn't go like full-blown white. Even here, maybe like close to white, as you can see, it's metal, it's also not like, it's not that white, I would say. Like, here's an explanation, not that white, a bit white. Dude, I'm the best. And you see, like here, I highlighted just a little bit, so it doesn't go like too much. Here it's also like pretty subtle. Of course it depends like on the choice. Let's go a bit down here. I think I have it with like on a flat background. Here it's also, I have a light on the back that kind of gives this rim light, but not too much. Here I have this line, but not too much. And here I don't have anything basically, because I felt like it's enough, you know. It's just alright. And one thing I see here, you see like this area. This is kind of bad. It looks a bit weird. But anyway, now I notice more. I always notice something when I go back. So it's a pretty nice variety. Pretty nice. Like, I like how it's stylized. Then it's like clothing pieces, which is pretty realistic. And we have another one. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Like, I'm still surprised when Lina is still a student. Like, come on. When I was like a student, I would say I wasn't capable of that kind of level of art, honestly. But now I guess people are just more talented somehow. Well, and I guess I will be replaced at some point. Alright, so let's go. So I like this hat. I like the hair that's actually going here. It's actually pretty artistic, perfect, pretty artistic, you know. The pose is pretty nice. You do have this, like you see, when it comes to lighting again, actually. I can feedback a bit more when it comes to lights, I guess. So you have, I guess you have so much light sources that it kind of, like every light source kind of starts to cast shadow. If you have like two here, they start to kind of like merge and collapse and like kind of go across each other, and this is what you're gonna get. You see, like it's kind of close to like a posterize, or like posterize, I guess, effect, when you kind of get this like really low poly colors. So ideally here I would maybe remove some lights or just smooth those guys so they're not super visible. when it comes to this light, like even this, you see like you have a lot of like clash of shadows going on. So ideally you can smooth them, but at the same time you see like it could create like effect of a really bad low poly hand sculpted folds, which is like eh. So ideally, like in this case, I would just be careful about lights in whatever software there it was. Here actually it could be a bit, you see like ideally this should be dark. So let's actually try to add some darkness. And then we will make this kinda, well, as always I'm exaggerating it, but I guess you kinda could get the point. Like it should be more like, let's actually, let me take some time. Well, kinda like that, you know, how it was before. You see you have like a lot of lights going on. Now it's more kinda more natural, I would say. So you can see here and here, but pretty nice character, honestly. Has some folds, some shoes. Here, one thing that I would recommend when it comes to this character, it looks super cool. I would recommend you to work until this, like let's take for example this character, until this stage. So you have everything textured, like put some lights, put some real cool renders, you know, like it feels like it has so much more potential, and you have it only like in a kind of like a bluish tint colors, you know. You could try to do something like that. Why not? Because it will look so much cooler. It's already really nice. It's complicated, it has character, it has really nice silhouette, but it kind of could be pushed more, and I think you can do that. Yeah, because right now it's just kind of like, it's because it's just flat colors, it looks like it could be so much cooler. Just if you want to, of course, not kind of like trying to force anyone, but I would continue working on this and maybe like try to put it to Unreal, maybe add some real hair, for example. Would be really cool, like really cool, but really nice character. When it comes to this guy, that's also pretty nice. And another situation when we have some story going on. Well, that's actually Maya. Is it Maya? Yeah, I guess some kind of custom. Do I have that? I don't have that wall. That's interesting. What if it's not Maya? Oh my god. I mean, it looks like Maya. Is it Maya? Yeah, it's Maya. Right, so. Alright, so this is. So we have a pretty nice guy that has a beard. Really nice fur. This is like. So Lina has attention to detail, so you can clearly see that. She has some like skills when it comes to posing and giving character. That's pretty cool. One thing, so you have a light here. So what if I want to try to do something that would maybe make it more emotional? What if we try to? So you have a light here. What if we will highlight that area more? We will go to multiply. Is it multiply? We're gonna work. Kinda. What if we will kinda make it more dark in these areas? And let's actually make this. And then erase this. Ah, damn it. Not that. What if we will try to, to add more darkness Because I feel like it's just, you have a really nice idea, but you have this too much highlights, which could be there. But at the same time, it feels like it could be, the main source could be from here, and maybe those, for example, glass in the mask, they maybe can glow a bit. So let's see how it's gonna look like. Maybe it's gonna be stupid, but why not? I like to experiment and see how far we can push. And what if we do? David, stop this! Stop this! Maybe not this one then. Stupid hotkeys. Go back, please. Right. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. But maybe this actually is better. It's a bit highlighted more now. So what I'm trying to achieve is trying to give it more dramatic look. But the character could be surrounded by darkness, for example. You know. Oh, maybe. Damn it. Stop zooming in too much. Maybe something like that. You know. Ideally, I would try to test this in a scene when the lights can be there. To play around with the lights a bit more. Maybe this can be, like, you know, like this could be more, like more darkness. You know, it's just like it's suffering. Something went wrong. You know, kind of like that. Because if we will go back, you see, like, I mean, it does look kind of better when it comes to like character visibility and representation. But this looks more kind of emotional, maybe more dark, even if, especially if we will make it like black and white. Yes. Maybe we can always do highlight it more. You know, like kind of this. Maybe this is like, actually black and white is more like dramatic, I guess. And maybe this also can be on top. Some colors on the. Well, actually, what if this can be this? Too much. Let's put maybe 40% scale. Oh, kinda something like that, you know. But anyways, it's just my experiments. But I like the composition here actually. Like maybe this fog, like you see like this area here, it could be maybe less, not so high. But other than that, it's actually pretty nice. And then you have some concepts, I see, like it's pretty cool when a person also can concept. Like every 3D character, if he can concept, I believe that he could be better than that he can't, honestly, because if you can do good concepts, that means that you know the basics when it comes to anatomy, lighting, perspective, color theory, and composition. But at the same time, if you can learn that being as a 3D artist, then actually you're also gonna be fine. But yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nicely. You are the best, and you have a really bright future. You can clearly see that. And ridiculous what our students can do right now. God damn it! Like, I wish I was like that before. All right, so, and the last person on this session we will have Tiago, and he has some killer stuff. Like, goddamn. Also, really nice that he has variety in characters. We have stylized, we have more realistic, we have some kind of cyber character, we have some kind of really insane guy, which is I guess like a Christmas Santa or something. Damn, that's hardcore. Alright, so we will start with Santa. Alright, let's go down. Well, first thing I noticed that it's really nice that he has a like differences between materials. So we have some fur, we have some skin, we have some metal, have a freaking huge horn that also has its own material. Pretty cool. And there's like this turnaround. The lighting actually here is pretty nice. As you can see here, let's zoom in. Yes, some areas actually highlighted enough, but not too much. Like here, it's actually very close to what I do, or maybe actually the same. So this is pretty nice. So it's not super much, but it's enough. Like especially on the top, really nice. But it highlights just enough to trace the faults, and that way it creates like a juicy feeling. So pretty cool. So if I want to feedback something here, it's gonna be a bit tough, you know. It's because I like this. I think the anatomy is pretty much really nice, even though I'm not like a really huge anatomy fan myself. So I try to avoid when it comes to saying like maybe your ankle is too twisted or the bones are too thin, you know. Like I am more like a clothing guy, or like I guess now since I've been doing this motorcycle, I guess like I'm subdivision kind of guy. Anyways, but yeah, but one thing that I could say that if this character kind of create this impression that he's kind of like a psycho, you know, like a really insane guy, you could also use that insanity and I guess add that insanity to his clothing. So for example, we have this fur that if this guy is insane, usually like his hair could be a bit more like messy, like his clothing can be a bit messy. He's like could have some dirt also, but anyways. So when it comes to this fur, I do think it's kind of look too perfect, you know, it's like too aligned. So if I will take a screenshot, let's go back here. What I would do is let's create a new layer. So if this guy is insane, clearly he's like pretty hardcore. He doesn't have an eye. This second eye is kind of blind, I guess. So I would try to add like some fur pieces that could pop out more, you know, in some areas. Is it normal? Like 48%. Right, so here, you know, like some areas can be really like unsymmetrical. You see, like this is kind of really close to be perfect, you know, but in some areas it could just be like popping out maybe too much here, but oh, something like that, you know. So it's not super symmetrical. When it comes to beard, I think as always I have an example that could be very handy to show. And I guess I closed my station and I'm here. I think I made a guy before, which was this guy, and he has a more like a barbarian type of beard. And you see, like in your situation here, your beard is kind of like too, I would say too clean, you know, too kind of perfect. Because like let's try to combine my example here with your guy and see if it actually could give more like feeling that this guy is like more insane. So let's try to cut this beard. I'm not sure if it's gonna end up well, but let's see. But I hope I'm not gonna be humiliated. Wonder, like, damn it. Oh, whatever. So let's Let's try to see if it's gonna actually work. Something like that, and maybe we should also make it black and white, and maybe make it a bit brighter, like that, for example. Something like this. And if you go back, you see like your hair is kind of like just going down, and that's all. It could be like that, but it could be also more interesting if you take this example that it just could go a bit random, some areas, or actually in some areas, like, well, kind of exaggerating it a bit. It looks like almost like a Chinese language right now, but anyway, you kind of get the point, I guess, with this area here. But still, like, very nice. So it could be more messy when it comes to fur, I would say. Let's go back to this guy. The hands are kind of interesting that you have, like, they are like so furry. They could also be a bit more like messy, honestly. Just a bit more, when it's like. Let's take an example. Like just something like this, but it could pop up more. Like maybe it's just like a flyaways, as they call it. Maybe even like try to go berserk and then maybe do it like even more. Like why not? We live once. Let's try to go mad. Well, as always, exaggerating it a bit too much, but kind of get the point. Like this area here, you see like this part. It could be also too perfect. So if I will try to fix it, let's go here and let's go to the favorite liquify option here, and maybe this could be like, if you will also in combination with like my fix right now when it comes to shape, you would add my fur, it could be more like messy, I would say. Here you have the same thing, you see it kind of goes too like almost straight, What if we will just adjust it like that? And then in combination with that, we could add a bit more. Gonna work? New layer. And now we're gonna try to add some randomness to the fur. Well, kinda. You see, and it starts to look more, or I would say less symmetrical, less straight, more interesting. The same thing here. I guess I'm just kinda spending too much time, but I kinda like to paint, as you noticed. Yeah, so you see like this area here looks more kinda insane, in a good way, when it comes to this character. If he's supposed to be insane, because I do think he's supposed to be insane. But other than that, it's actually pretty nice. Pretty nice. Like the lighting is actually very good. His skin maybe could have some scars. Scars. Maybe scarves. Why not? And the black and white version, that's nice. Pretty cool, like that was insane. In a good way. Alright, I think I saw that guy somewhere before, actually. Think tank. Alright. Yeah, so this guy has a lot of, I see details, a lot of things going on. It's like a mixture between sci-fi and some kind of like a medieval, I guess, like a fantasy medieval thing. That's alright. That's nice. That's I like how the skull looks like, or I guess, oh, it's actually the skull. It's like a metal skull. Alright. I like how the hair is actually pretty minimalistic when it comes to low polygon, low poly stripes, but then here it actually looks pretty fine actually. I would never thought about it. It's so low. That's a skill. That's a skill. That's pretty cool. I like the depth of field effect here. Maybe a bit too much. Like you see, it could end like maybe here, but still, like it's pretty cool. And also we can see like all those details. I guess there's some kind of noise. What is cool about adding noise? It's always gonna make your work more realistic somehow. So if you're aiming for like another like additional tip how to make your work look more realistic, you add some noise. You can clearly see it here. It's like little dots. Pretty cool. And we have a low poly. We have like this area here. Like you have kind of like too much empty space. Like it's this is feedback more like close about composition, I would say. Like you could make skull bigger. You could maybe let this thing here. Like let me just do a quick experiment. It's actually a pretty big picture. So what I would do maybe is that you could make this thing, for example, a bit bigger. So you have the full scale there, but then you can make a close-up of this thing here. You could make, let's actually, damn it. Let's put it here. Let's put this thing also here. So now we can play around more. You can make the skull a bit bigger. This maybe you can rotate, since this is gonna have a angle. Well, kind of like that, you know. And then if we will make it this, then ideally what if oh, that was funny, man. Hold on, shift. This could be here, for example. Well, it's just usually what I do. I just play around. So this play around with the composition and try to find the best way to put things, you know, like for example, now we have a space here and we can fill it with, well, maybe with this part, for example, or maybe not too much. Maybe this will be enough, so we can scale this up and put it here, you know. So now it feels more kind of aligned and good. So there's less empty space, you know. And here it's just kind of, well, it's just me nitpicking, but whatever. Don't hate me too much. Yeah, so let's go here. I did notice that. So you see you have this area here that is somehow, I wonder, I guess there is this cylinder, so it somehow connects, but then you see that there is this space between those, which is, you see that there is the color of the background, so I guess it's almost kind of empty. Or maybe it's just me. So ideally, if I will, for example, go back to my bike here, let's turn off this, or else I just look too hardcore. I think I've been, like before the stream I was telling about those things that I have, like those wires, for example. When I put them to this engine, I was like, well, it looks kind of nice from this perspective. But if you look a bit on the other angle, you see like, where does it go? Like it kind of goes there, but it hits this flat area. So I felt like I need to add something to connect those things together. So that's why I added those like panels, I guess, you know. So Now it looks like they're actually going inside, and you don't see that flat area almost don't see, so I'm kind of cheating. But you can clearly see that it's actually it's connected to each other. When it comes to this area, it's just, I see that, I guess it connects somehow, but maybe it's just the wrong angle that I'm looking at. But it feels like it doesn't give that sense of connection. So, but as I said, maybe it's the wrong angle. So you see, like, so maybe, like, if I will give an advice when it comes to this situation, I would maybe use liquefy tool and maybe drag this down, kind of like that, and then let's get rid of those. Let's get rid of this guy. So it goes here, and maybe even more. Damn it, give me the color. Maybe like that, you know. And ideally, if this shape, like this area, like let's like this area here, if from the like profile view looks like this, then, and you have a joint here, I guess it could go actually like up and down, you know, because it has this shape. So it could go like this thing could go inside, maybe. So that will kind of give it more like interesting design choice, I guess. But it's just like a little maybe tip that you can use. But it's also like this thing here, it also creates like a specific style. So you kind of have your own style here, which is pretty nice that you're kind of keeping it. But we can see it also on the head area. So that's really nice to know that you know actually how to do that. But yeah, it's kind of cool that you have so many things going on here. Like, you have so many like leather, you have fabric, you have some wires. I like wires, they are pretty cool. They actually, like, you see, like, and here you actually have it here, like it connects. So you have this little bump here, it connects to this cylinder, and then it goes inside. So this is like, yeah, I mean, you know everything apparently. No need to feedback anymore. Yeah, but I wonder. Like, you know, maybe like this skull is kinda too sitting too perfect. If I will go here, you see, like maybe it could have been a bit rotated like that, or maybe other way around. Maybe like, well, maybe this, because it could be like it's just too straight, you know, because I can see that there is this line, you know, it goes like it's just maybe too straight. So ideally I try to avoid those straight lines if I can, if I usually see those. But since you had like a lot of things going on here, it's really easy to just maybe like unsee some, or maybe it's also just like a choice to make. But I like this one. Like, this is actually pretty cool. Maybe like a little thing that maybe you could add is that you could rotate his head a bit to the left or to the right, so it's not like 100% front view face, you know. It's just a little bit dynamic, you know. It's a little bit here, a little bit there, you know, and it could make it a bit better. Yeah, but it's a really nice guy that you have here, like pretty complicated. You know what was cool? Because I think George has this thing with electricity, you know, on his blades. What if you had some electricity here? Like, damn, that would be hardcore. That would be very nice. But yeah, but I mean, really nice. I like the bandages here. Like, you have so many things going on, you know, like there is fabric, there is like sci-fi elements, wires. It's like this character just gathered everything together, and it still looks kind of cool. You know, it's actually a skill to combine all that while still maintaining the interest, you know. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Let's go back. Alright, so I guess I'll take another one. And yeah. Alright, so we have a girl now today. That's nice. I like the pink hair. The lighting is also pretty nice. It's also, you can kind of maybe feel it after my feedbacks that it's kind of exaggerated. Like it looks like, in a way, it looks like a candy, you know, like the skin is kind of too bright when it comes to realistic kind of state. But it's very nice when it comes to ArtStation poster, I would say. Yeah, so he has also a pose. Let's go down. Alright. Oh, there's the electricity. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Maybe this, like you see, the zipper lock could be a bit bigger. I have been doing those zipper locks lately, so I can clearly see, like, oh my god. So could be a bit bigger, but little thing. A little thing. I like the depth of field effects. That's really nice. This is kind of like, so here you're showing the grenades and I guess the pouch. But here, I guess it's like is it like an armor piece? Armor piece? Yeah, I guess. But you don't see, like, it could be also a bag, for example. And I don't know for sure because it doesn't kind of give that much details to figure out what is this part or this shot actually. And now I guess this is the bag. And this is the gun. And some straps. So yeah, that's some close-ups. 4K or maybe 2K actually. One thing that kind of I see that usually people do is when they add, well, I guess it's actually more noticeable on a gun. So you see your gun is so metallic that if you put any dirt and on the roughness channel, it kind of will be so like unmetallic that it's just kind of gives a feeling like it's too artificial. As if we will, for example, let's Google desert eagle. We click here. Well, let's take the basic one, I guess. So you see, it's like most of the time they are not so shiny. So if you look here, like you could have just reduced the metallic effect, maybe like for 50%, for example. Right now it's close to, like, it's not like 100, it's close to maybe like 75-80%. You know, could be a bit lower. But yeah, I like the sticker. That's pretty cool. And some close-ups here about this gun. It looks like, actually kind of reminds me of a gun from Order 1886, I guess. Oh, I like this one actually. This is actually pretty cool. And this is actually also, like, I like the hair. Like the hair shader is pretty nice. And then the gun. Oh, here you could actually, you see I have too much empty space. You could have put here something like close up of this area, for example. And the bunny, and the bunny gas mask, I guess. Pretty cool. Damn, you have so many things. I wonder how much did it took to finish this. Like, for me, if I would be working like on a full-time job and only spending this on my weekends, it would took me a year at least to finish. I would say, so you see we have a lot of screenshots that would be kind of the same. Like if you will go like, I mean, if you have this, like you have clay render, albedo off, which is pretty nice, then you're kind of showing the same thing here. I guess with a mask, but you also could use that here. So this is kind of the same pictures. So what I try to avoid is to upload too many renders. You know, it could be just like a empty, like a bottomless scrolling at some point. You know. But yeah. So these two screenshots you could actually combine, for example, because you see you have so much empty space. Yeah. So when it comes to this character here, I see that you have like some details here and there. Like, so first thing that I can see that those straps here, they look a bit more loose. And it's funny because usually I tell like, please don't make them super straight, but in this case, if they are like, they're supposed to like give pressure. So when you like, you know, like this bells on a plane, when you slap on the belt, it could be like straight because it gives the pressure of that, you know, when it's kind of close to your body basically. So here it feels like they are kind of loose and they could actually fall. So to fix this, it should be more straight in this situation. Well, ideally. Here, like you could have some more, like if I will take a screenshot of that. Oof, I've been talking for like almost hour and a half. Then I'm not usually that talkable person, you know. So let's go here. We'll take something more like red so we can see what I'm gonna do, and ideally you will have folds like that here, because I don't see them that much, and here it's would be kind of the same. It's usually it depends. Like you could have some here, for example. Could go here. But it depends on the fabric, but ultimately it's usually like this. So ideally you would need to have those, but neither than that. Like I do see like there is marvelous work for sure. Like those folds here and there. So another tip is I will hopefully will be able to explain it in a really easy way. I'm gonna go to again to my art station. Yeah, what's my name? Right, we're gonna go here, and we have what I think this guy was actually pretty nice when it comes to folds on the pants. So ideally, you see, like we are trying to aim to those kind of folds on behind, like on the back of the pants, you know. So basically it goes like this, like that. You have it more like it just goes down, it's like more relaxed. So we usually tend to do it more like this when it comes to game dev, because as soon as your character gonna move, it's gonna bend his knee, like bend his knee and also legs, and it will look just more realistic when you have those like folds in that kind of flow. It's the same when it comes to sleeves actually. So you see there I will always put some like those kind of fold direction to my sleeves. Yeah, so this here you see it goes up and like from left to right, and on the back it should be kind of the same. So when it comes to, as I said, when it comes to animation, it's just gonna be more accurate, right? So let's go up. Oh yeah, you have a lot of screenshots. But yeah, but I really like the hair actually. I really like the color. I like the contrast here. Like in this screenshot, it feels like it could be more perspective. You could add more perspective to it, because it looks kind of close to orthographic view, which is like more like cubic, like kind of flat. But if here you would add more perspective, it would look. God damn it! I'm just so tired of talking. It would look more dynamic. Yeah, so could be some folds here, this strap could be like a bit kind of closer, because you can see that there is shadows, which means that it's kind of levitating a bit. This area here, ideally I would put it to the or actually should it be? I'm not sure if it's gonna be realistic, but I would put this pouch to this state, you know. And so we have some dirt. You do add some normal map, like normal information to your dirt, which is usually you don't need to do it that much, because it's just kind of you're exaggerating dirt even more, which will create this effect of kind of like a fakeness, I guess. The best way is to use dirt is actually like here, for example, or actually here, just try to make it more contrast, like exaggerate it a bit. So if it should be dark, do it even darker, but not black, I would say. And you don't need to do you don't need to add that much normal to your dirt or your roughness, honestly, because it just looks too fake. Like this strap here on the belt kind of looks too straight also, which is funny because I'm telling like make this more straight, make this less straight. So I know it. I sound like what do I mean, you know? But that's just life, you know. If things supposed to be straight, let them be straight, so they will add more realistic feeling. But here it could be a bit loose, honestly, just a bit, but not too much. But right now it's just too straight, I would say, too strong. Yeah, that's actually pretty nice. You have a light under. That's pretty cool, actually. I never noticed that before. Could be that also this has too much like a dirt noise, I would say. Could be like a bit reduced, you know, here and there. Because if we look at, well, it's as always, it always depends on how dirty your character should be. Because I always take this guy as an example. You see some dirt here, like spots here, spots there, and it's not that much, but it's enough to gonna give a feeling that this character has some dirt. And if we look here on his, I wonder if there is yeah, on this guy, you see like a little spots, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like around 7 spots here, and this print has some like also like a bit tear, like like a torn effect, I guess. It was erased, and it's not that much, but in combination it kind of gives a feeling like, okay, this guy is dirty. You know? So not too many things that you need to add, actually. Just make small amount, but exaggerate them and make sure they're visible. And always just zoom in and see like if it's actually, if this bike is like from this distance, if you can see that dirt spot, then it's fine. If you need to zoom in that much to see it, then you will be like adding it here and there, but if you're gonna zoom out, you see like you're all over the place when it comes to dirt, which is could be too much. Yeah, but pretty nice model, pretty, like, I see like there's a lot of work that you put here, Thiago, which is insane. Really nice, very good. Alright guys, so for today I think I'm done. It's been like an hour and a half, and thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more feedback sessions. See ya. Subscribe for the new content, and feel free to join my Discord channel, where you can share your art and give ideas for the future videos. So thank you for watching.